Amy here at the Outdoor Learning Center, and we're going to get started in just a minute. But this week we have something really cool. We are talking not so much about science and education, but we are going to talk about volunteerism. Because we just had Martin Luther King Day this past Monday, we have dedicated this week to showing off some of our amazing volunteers. So today's talk is going to be all about organized volunteering and how it began in the United States. A little history lesson for you guys. We're also going to talk specifically about the Outdoor Learning Center and what they do to help us. On this slide, I have two quotes. The one on the left says, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you going to do for others?" by Martin Luther King Jr. The quote on the right says, "Volunteerism is the voice of people put into action. These actions shape and mold the present into the future of which we can all be proud," by Helen Dreier. As we talk about volunteering today, think about these quotes and what they make you feel or think about. Feel free to ask a comment or ask any questions or comment. We're going to have people answering questions and shooting stuff out to me. I'd love to know if you guys are on, if you could say hi. And then before we start, I want you to be thinking about why you think it's important to volunteer. Go ahead and put your comments about volunteering in this section, and I'm going to go grab a special guest right now. I'll be right back. So I am back. I brought my friend Lebowski. How high can you see, Lily? Do I have to hold him this high? Lebowski is a snake here, and I wanted to have an interactive animal with you guys, so Lebowski is going to hang out. He is one of the cool things volunteers can hang out with. Wow. Oh, this is fun. Yesterday I have a tortoise pee on me. Today maybe I'll have a snake pee on me. Perfect! So we're going to talk about slide number 2, and hopefully Lebowski won't, technology is not working for us today. Anyway, volunteering and taking time to help others in need began long before humans had any form of writing. Helping others is something that is ingrained in all humans. You guys probably do it without even thinking about it. In the United States, volunteering began even before we were fully established, independent country. In 1736, you guys probably can't even imagine how long ago 1736 was, Ben Franklin established the first volunteer fire company. The Minutemen also, around the same time, were a volunteer militia and fought against the British. In 1851, the YMCA was founded as a place for young men to escape the streets and help others in their communities. In the late 1800s, during the Civil War, people that couldn't fight, mainly women, focused on volunteering. The Ladies' Union Aid Society and Red Cross were developed as a way to help the soldiers in the war. I know my daughter just did a project on Rosie the Riveter, who came about helping during war times, and she enlisted a bunch of ladies to help out. The Ladies' Union worked to collect clothing, sew uniforms, and raise money, while the Red Cross focused on feeding and medically caring for soldiers. In 1896, Volunteers of America made it their mission to go wherever they needed and do whatever came to hand. They spent most of their time caring for people in poverty. In World War II, volunteering was considered something that every American had to do. Whether this was volunteering to grow and donate. Oh, I moved. Wrong slide. Oh my goodness. Hello, Rewind Facebook Live. I'm going to be talking about Kiwanis, sorry. In the 1900s, volunteering organizations continued to grow. Big Brothers and Big Sisters of America, the Rotary Club, Kiwanis International, and the Lions Club all popped up at the beginning of the century. We're very lucky to have a Kiwanis Club around us because they actually donated one of our tortoises to us. They've done other events to help us. During the Great Depression, soup kitchens popped up, and volunteering to help feed poor and hungry gained more popularity. And these are some of the logos of those different organizations I was talking about. I know I'm giving you guys a lot of dates today, but because we are talking in history terms, we do have to talk about dates. So you can always rewind and find out what dates I was specifically talking about. I'm having some technical difficulties, shocking. Slide 4. In World War II, volunteering was considered something that every American had to do. Whether this was volunteering to grow and donate produce, donating old clothing, or using your free time to help collect things for the soldiers. The United States government asked for everyone to do their part to help their soldiers at war. That's kind of how we are in the United States now. I know that we have a lot of volunteers that have this passion for helping volunteer. I'm going to try to click again.
Yeah, try again.
Is there a next? Maybe an arrow? After World War II, there was a second wave of volunteering organizations. These were focused on larger scale volunteering around the country and around the world. Companies like the Peace Corps, Vista, Habitat for Humanity, and the United Nations Volunteers all established one after another. All of these organizations depend on people in the community to sign up and volunteer their time towards helping others. These are also logos that if you want to research later on, you can. These volunteering opportunities focused around helping building homes, reestablish neighborhoods, helping provide basic human needs, like water and farms to small rural community. We'll just keep doing it.
Why keep doing this?
There's something up there, SmartLink. Does that mean anything? Today, all the organizations I mentioned are still around. In fact, we're going to talk about one really specifically that we benefit from every day. In fact, there's even more. In a study, 1 in every 4 Americans admitted to having volunteered at some point in their life. This adds up to 64.3 million people that have volunteered in their life. With the help of computers, today we can do things like virtual volunteering, which I know sounds kind of crazy, but it is a thing. This is when companies need help online. For example, you could be helping with their social media posts, or organizing online resources, and many other things. Micro-volunteering is also growing in popularity. It is something that only takes a couple of minutes to do and requires no long-term commitment. Using several micro-volunteering events are done as a larger part of a project. You guys can think maybe putting together a wedding. It takes lots of steps to get married. There's lots of little things you can do to help organizations complete their projects. But with our busy lives today, micro-volunteering offers a chance for everyone, even the busiest people, to be able to volunteer during their day. Lily's going to run every piece of technology while I'm talking. This is my favorite slide because I'm going to be talking about our volunteers here at the Outdoor Learning Center. I guess we go to the next one. Oh. I hope you guys are having as much fun as I am. We are very lucky to have AmeriCorps volunteers at the Outdoor Learning Center. Every year we get a new AmeriCorps member and they help us with everything here. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about AmeriCorps. AmeriCorps is kind of like the U.S. version of the Peace Corps. So every year we get someone who comes to work here at the Outdoor Learning Center. We have had people that thought they might want to be teachers who did some did AmeriCorps here to decide if they actually wanted to work with the public. We've had people that were doing something environmental and wanted to learn how to be better communicators. But essentially they give 11 months of their life and they make very little money. They get an excellent education award at the end of it, but we have benefited a lot from AmeriCorps. You guys remember last year Robbie in our owl costume? He helped us create a lot of events back when we could have events, and he also helped to take care of the animals. Some of our favorite AmeriCorps, Andrea, who hasn't been here for a very long time. A shout out to Stacy. Ashley, who's now a teacher, and Stacy, who just finished her master's in environmental education. So all of those people have had a huge impact on us. Every year they help us care for animals and run and organize events. I'm going to say hi to some people. Carrie Tabor and Debbie. Hi, Debbie. And Patty Reed. Thank you very much for being here with us. So our AmeriCorps usually help us care for the animals. On normal years, they're teaching a lot. They organize a lot of events. And we also have Lily this year, who's been doing a lot of social media events and really making sure we are educating through our different online stuff. Lily has also been helping us create a lot of cool enrichment opportunities for our animals. She set up some training programs. This is Lebowski. He's been on a bit of an exercise program. She's been a really big help. I'm going to ask you to go next again, Lily. Lily is now managing the whiteboard too, and the slideshow, and my script. Thank you. Every year we have a program called DFW. They're students from City School. They come here 5 days a week, normally when we're in school, and they help take care of the little animals. With them doing remote learning beginning of this fall and now into winter, we have 4 volunteers that have been signed up through City School. They come here at least twice a week, sometimes more. They help with feeding, caring for animals, and they also do other little projects around the center. We're lucky to have some really amazing kids this year. All of them are ready to step up whatever they need. We wouldn't be able to do what we're doing right now without these kids. For example, we have Izzy here, and my daughter Stella, who's here, and then Wendy, who just missed being around people, is helping manage Paige. So those are really cool things that these kids have gotten to do during the remote learning time. I do have a video here, or wait,
Not yet.
we have some volunteers who have come through different pathways. We would not be able to run this place without the volunteers. I'll tell you my personal story. When we first opened the Outdoor Learning Center, my sweet husband and I would feed every single weekend and every single holiday. So when you guys were having Christmas, we were driving in here and taking care of the birds and all the little animals inside. Back then we were even raising rats, which was crazy. So once we started getting volunteers, my life became so much easier, as did my husband's. This place would not be what it is without volunteers, so thank you, volunteers. But I just wanted to show you some of our highlights, some of our, Emily, she and her dad a couple years ago built this really cool iguana enclosure that you guys probably have seen if you come to an open house. But we were hit with a pretty big windstorm last week, and Emily came in and helped move our teepee that we lost, moved a bunch of debris. I knew that the center was safe when we were closed for school because Emily was here. We have Tina and Carmen. Carmen's over in the corner. We just highlighted Carmen on our social media page this week. These guys are able to do a lot of stuff with the birds, educating. Basically, if I text or ask a question or ask a favor, they usually say yes. Each one of our volunteers is absolutely amazing, and we are beyond lucky to have a fantastic group of people. I wish you guys could see it right now, because now Tiffany is dealing with Nelson. Brianna Fisher, old school volunteer. She actually has the record for bringing the youngest volunteer when she was pregnant, and then her son continued to volunteer with her for quite a while. And then, hi Brianna, and then Ashley Bonnefeld, my teaching partner. You are amazing too. So I have a video here of Carmen. It's very short, so we're just going to show it to you, hopefully the sound. Carmen and Robbie made this last year because we're always trying to find new people to help us volunteer here. And so we came up with a video that kind of gave people an idea of what would be expected if they agreed to volunteering. We have links and websites on our stuff that you guys can find this snippet and find out more about what Carmen does. So I'm going to let Carmen speak about a part of what she does here at the Outdoor Learning Center. Hopefully the sound is good.
So, I mean, you can see that Arden is not really comfortable with me being here, but she needs to work with me, and she needs to be okay with me having my hands around her. So, I'm going to show her my hand, and that's a defensive posture. You see if she drops her wings a little bit. Good girl. And again, I'm just going to very gently and carefully grab one of her Jesses. I'm not going to try and do anything with it, so that she knows that just because I'm in the new and kind of messing with her Jesses, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. And obviously, if she were to fly away, I would leave her alone. But the fact that she's patient enough to let me do this without moving away from me is a thing. Good girl. Good job. And then she calms down immediately, which is a good response.
So I just wanted to kind of review what was in that video. So Carmen, she comes here to clean and feed and hang out with the birds of prey, but she also is involved in training our birds, and so she has a lot of patience. You guys will notice that she was sitting there just being with Arden and working around Arden, our red-tailed hawk. So even if you just want to kind of like be around animals, this is an excellent place to volunteer. My friend Debbie has asked what's in my hand. I have a snake. Because we're doing a lot of talk about history and stuff, I wanted to bring an animal so you guys at least could be excited about seeing a snake. Debbie's probably freaked out about my snake on my neck right now. But with the billions of people in the country that volunteer, you might start to wonder why. Why are people so willing to put aside their own time to do something, knowing they won't get paid for it? Well, studies have shown there's actually benefits to people who volunteer. Just a couple percentages are listed on this slide. But basically, people who volunteer feel happier, healthier, and feel like that they're doing really benefits their community. Studies have shown that people who volunteer have improved teamwork skills, people skills, and time management skills. If you guys ever think about having a job where you have to work at a team and you haven't had a lot of experience, volunteering is a really good thing to put on your resume, because all of those skills that you will learn at volunteering at an organization will actually put you up above somebody that might be applying for the same job. So think about all those skills that you can learn volunteering. With so many benefits to volunteering, it's no wonder that over 64.3 million people in the U.S. alone have volunteered in their lifetime.
We're on to the next slide.
If you would like to volunteer, you still can do it, even though in the midst of COVID, you might think you might not be able to. The first website here is Volunteers of America, specifically, or Volunteers of Spokane, sorry, specifically here in Spokane. The Volunteer Match website will give you volunteer opportunities throughout the country. So if you're going to be in Seattle for a weekend and you want to volunteer there, you can easily search for volunteer opportunities in Seattle. And we've actually gotten a lot of people off of Volunteer Match. You kind of can click your way through things you're interested to. So it's not super overwhelming where you have to read a bunch of volunteer descriptions. Just say, I love animals. Click, I'm here in Spokane. It will send stuff your way. Oh yeah, that was Volunteer Match. And then AmeriCorps, which I think I mentioned to you guys before. If you're interested in becoming an AmeriCorps member or possibly serving here at the OLC, you have to apply on their website. But be careful, because when you go on there, you're going to find hundreds of other opportunities for places to serve as AmeriCorps. So it's a great resource for anybody graduating high school. Maybe you want to check out a new city or a new state. Maybe you even want to think about getting residency in a state. It's a great way to find a new town or city and get involved in helping somewhere else. And of course, the last, most important website, if you're interested in volunteering here, you're going to go to this website and you're going to hover over the About the West Valley OLC. And that place will take you to a description of jobs that we have, our volunteer opportunities. And there'll also be an application that you can fill out there. And we're always looking for volunteers on a variety of ages. And if you guys just even have questions, you can message us on Facebook, and you can always email us from our website as well. My snake is being good. You probably can't see him very well. I just realized I'm pretty dark. So I want to say thank you all again for our volunteers. We, like I said, would not be able to do what we do without all of you, and you have made all of our lives here better. So if you guys want to have a big impact on a nature preserve like us or an organization that always needs helps. You can check out one of our websites that we offered. I'm sure Lily will post them later, or you can always watch this show back. Again, we're going to post this on our YouTube. Make sure you guys subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to put those on Facebook, and I will definitely make sure that we look for anything you are wondering. But stay safe, everybody, and we will see you soon. Bye!